All right, so we have an overview of the parameter health, and we know things are pretty bad, but now it's time to get really surgical and look at the use cases. So this is where these buttons show up. We can click on partial and look at only the partially filled parameters. And at this point, we're going to get a new list, and there's a different question as well, right? We have to determine, are we going to fill these parameters perfectly 100%? Perhaps we're going to remove them from categories where they were over applied, or we can decide to fully get rid of them. So we're going to get everything from 99.9% to 0.001%. If we go through the list, probably these parameters down here, if there's only 3 values out of 48,000, that's probably pretty automatically a garbage parameter. And when we get rid of it, is going to liberate 48,000 parameters. Now, here's the thing, right? BIM people, we are not database folks, but guess what? What we are handling is a database. So when you're looking at all of these values, this 2 million, you may not see that inside of Revit, but really the reason why your model is slow is because it's handling 2 million useless or generally useless parameters. So let's think about it as a database, and this will help you understand what's going on and most importantly, fix it. All right, let's go into this parameter. It has more nuance than the previous one. So if we look at this parameter, we're going to see where it is applied or not. And this is a classic, right? It's the project parameter, and the BIM manager just went in and applied it in way too many spaces. So for example, we see it's never applied on cameras, communication devices, duct systems, duct center lines, generic models, grids, levels. It makes zero sense for a space description to be present in a grid. So what we need to go in that project parameter and do is remove all of these silly categories where it makes zero sense. And then we can determine, well, do I want to fill it up for the flex ducts? If not, get rid of it for the flex ducts, right? It's either 100% or 0%. There's no space for in between. That's just ambiguity land. All right, next we're going to look at the filled parameters. And you may say, oh, well, that's great. These parameters are 100% filled, but there's way more to this. And we try to float up the problem so that it's very clear. And as you'll see, the problems are going to be highlighted in red. Okay, so we have our list here. Once again, we're going to ignore the built-in and global parameters and only focus on project and standard parameters. And so we see there's 1,600 parameters that are 100% filled, and there's 704,000 values in here. Now, what we're going to want to do is basically, we could go in and audit all of these individually, but what we're going to do is sort by the number of distinct value. And basically, pretty much anytime you're going to see a parameter that's 100% filled but only has one distinct value, that just screams, get rid of me. I'm garbage. I'm completely useless, right? So a parameter is there to show you differentiation. If it's not showing you differentiation, why is it there? And here we go. We have the list. We actually noticed a lot of these are shared parameters, which makes the whole thing kind of even worse. And when we click on it, we see that it's 100% filled with emptiness. So everything I'm clicking on here right now that has this one distinct value so far, this is just garbage. This is going right to the bin. So as you can see, there's a lot in this list of, it seems like it's 100% filled, but really it's nothing. So you can go and just double check on all of these, but the list of things to throw away is pretty large. And this is going to be a breath of fresh air in your model. We're going to get rid of, data that is just, deeply ingrained in your model, and it's completely useless. All right, the last list we're going to look at is parameters that are 100% empty. Wow, look at this number. So there's 454 parameters that are 100% empty, and that's going to get rid of 2 million values. Look at all this empty husk just slowing down our model for absolutely no reason. So this is going to be this is the perfect definition of a data diet, right? You want to throw all of this away. There is zero value to it. And now you can focus on things that actually matter. And the sad thing is a lot of these are shared parameters. So that makes the thing even worse. Now, it's not exactly related to size, but what we're going to see very quickly when we analyze the parameters in the model is that there's a lot of repeat parameters, and sometimes it's basically people not using shared parameters properly. But the other thing we're going to notice is that a lot of the parameter heaviness comes from the MEP model. So you may have the best BIM manager in your architecture project, it's obviously not always the case, but I think what you really need to be careful with is the MEP model, making sure that their parameters are strict and useful and that it's not full of garbage, because sometimes I see there is double or triple the amount of parameters in the MEP model. It may seem innocuous, but these are often the source of very, very heavy models in terms of the data, not to mention, of course, the families, which we just looked at in the previous videos. So I hope this was helpful. I can go deeper into this topic. I'm actually going to do a little separate video for just finding unshared parameters that you want to harmonize. But this is all the time I had on this topic for now. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.